Okay. Good morning, everybody. I think we can start. I'm really very happy and honored that we got this good response from all of you to our welcome address of the MOOC. As we said, this is a MOOC, so the lectures will be available online from this morning onward. But since we got a very good response from the people, we disseminate the announcement throughout. We wanted to thank you with a specific welcome address. And I see also my colleague and partner of the project, Professor Maria Cruz Alonso, who is connected as well. If you also want to say some welcome address, Maria Cruz, please.
Okay, now. Hello, good morning, and good morning, at least in Spain. And of course, I want to thank you because you have shown the interest to come into this MOOC, and we hope we are able to give you answers and help you in your studies or in your work. In my case, I will be concentrated in durability aspects. You can realize on that. And of course, Liberato is the coordinator. I can explain you more in detail how the MOOC is distributed. But I'm one of the partners and one of the speakers.
Okay, thanks a lot, Maria Cruz. So I think we can start. We have prepared just a quick overview also of the project. Our project Resilience, in whose framework this MOOC has been conceived and will be disseminated. And I want to thank all of you on behalf of the consortium, but also on behalf of RILEM, who has helped us in organizing and in disseminating this announcement. As some of you may remember, we planned originally to deliver the zero version of this MOOC during the RILEM Spring Week in Guimarães, and then because of the emergency, the COVID emergency, we were forced to move everything online, and obviously this required some organization from all of us. Well, just to say you a few words, you can see we are a very big consortium, and you can see the pictures of our meeting and our social gathering together. Where did we start from? We are all working in the construction industry and in the civil engineers, so we have big challenges to answer to and to be prepared to answer to. The requirement of transportation infrastructures, I think that no more than now, when we are confined in our houses, now we can start going gradually back to our offices, but we cannot connect anymore. No more than now, we realize how important is transportation infrastructure, also for the flights to travel. We have realized that due to some events, how important is the protection of the coasts. Take into account that Europe has 66,000 kilometers coastline, so 3 times as much the coastline of United States. And the coastal defense infrastructure is an interesting market from construction industry, which is also has to face the climate change situation. We have to work actively in promoting the growth of clean energy production from offshore wind, ocean and geothermal engineering. And also we have a great challenges and great opportunities from the blue growth, which is supposed to double the revenues in the coming decade. Since take into account, we have also heard in these days that our planet Earth, the land, most of all is depleted because most of our economy comes from Earth, from the land, whereas most of our planet is made of water. And you can find this information and other things in reports that European Commission publishes regularly, and you can find them on the website. I put here some links. Obviously, this presentation will be available as well from our MOOC site. Well, which is the scenario we have to consider and the scenario in which we are moving. I put this picture here. This is in Brazil, is the Museum of Tomorrow, Museu do Amanhã. And I visited it a couple of years ago, and I was hit by the sentence, by the message which is here in the red box. We have become a geological force. The humankind has such a great power that we can shape the planet. And one of the things that we have to consider is that 55% of the world population nowadays lives in urban areas. And every year, more than 70 million people relocates to urban areas. So this is a big challenge because it will imply, for example, increase carbonation in structures, increase CO2 in the atmosphere, will imply increased carbonation in structure. In the seas, because of the warming, we may have higher temperature, increased salinity. And because of accidental events, we can have increased physical wearing of our structures. So the scenario, this is a study, I put the results of a study performed some years ago at University of British Columbia. In a big megalopolis, megacity like Mumbai, a building built in 2000 had an expected service life of more than 60 years. And the building which will be built in 2030 will expect a service life which is 10 years lower simply because the climate change has affected the carbonation rate of the structure, for example. But also this service life, this expected service life is even getting lower and lower if we consider the climate change will get worse and worse, the conditions will get worse and worse every year. So, which is the performance that we have to require to our cement-based materials? Is it only the strength? In this study, it's shown that we can have concrete with very high strength. Most of all, we can get most of the capacity of the strength capacity from the binders. You can see that the efficiency in use of the binder to produce a unit megapascal of strength has become very, very high. And probably we are on a flat asymptote. We cannot go even higher. But this is the strength, the only performance that we require to our structures, or we have to look into something different. So this is the main question that we asked as RILEM Consortium. We asked ourselves and we say, what is the answer that with our expertise and with our synergy we can provide? The Resilience Project was funded by the European Commission in the framework of the Horizon 2020 project with about 5.5 million euros. It started in 2018 and it will last for 4 years, so until the end of 2021. So now we are almost in the middle. And our goal is to develop ultra-high durability concrete and a methodology for durability assessment-based design of construction, buildings, and infrastructures to improve the durability and predict their performance under extremely aggressive exposures. You see there the link to our website that you can always look for the latest updates. We started as a consortium of 14 partners. Now we have become 13 because somebody at mid-time had some issues and withdrew from the consortium. You can see us here. We have, besides Politecnico di Milano is the coordinator, we have Rover Maritime from Spain, Enel Green Power from Italy, Stress from Italy as well, RDC, a company from Spain, Banagher from Ireland, Nafen from Estonia, API Europe from Greece, Penetron Italia from Italy, University of Valencia from Spain, Technical University of Dresden from Germany, CSIC from Spain, Ben Gurion University from Israel, and University of Malta from Malta. And we are a consortium. The important thing is that besides the university partners, we are 6 over 14. So this is really an industry-driven research. We covered, the university partners had previously very strong connection in other projects, in other actions, but with the industrial partners with which we also have in different ways relationship, we cover the whole value chain of the concrete construction industry. And this is a strength, I believe, of our project because we go from producers of concrete constituents to precast companies, to engineering consultancies, to precast construction and engineering consultancy, to infrastructure project and construction companies, to large scale end users. And which was our starting point? Well, we started from a known technology, a technology well known in the laboratories, a technology which has some iconic applications like UHPC, UHPFRC. We know the properties of the materials. We know, as the song of Bruce Springsteen, which is in the soundtrack, says that this material is tougher than regular concrete. But we want to bring this out of the labs, and we want this as a starting point. So our goal is to bring this material in the construction of 6 full-scale pilots. And I am very proud to say that despite the emergency, we were able really to build and start validating these pilots also during this period. 2 of them are in Italy in a geothermal power plant. 2 of them are in Spain in the Mediterranean coast. 1 is in Ireland and 1 is in Malta. This is one of the Italian pilots. You can see this is a basin for the collection of geothermal waters, which is acid. A second pilot is similar, but for the muds. And you can see in the inset on the top left of this slide, as we go from a regular concrete solution, 10 centimeter, to 2 different solutions made with this material, which are respectively 6 and 3 centimeters thick. And you can see the scale of the pilot compared to myself, which was there. We had another very interesting pilot. This is a raft for mussel farming, which has been just floated last week in the harbor of Valencia. So the monitoring will start and the data will start coming for us to be informed about the reliability of our design choices. And you can see the consortium here in this picture visiting the pilot at the end of February. We have another pilot. This is a floater for a wind, an offshore wind tower, which is going to be pre-tested in the lab before being installed in the port of Sagunto in Spain. This is a pontoon, a floating pontoon. You can see some pictures of the construction in the precast factory in Ireland where it was built. It's now ready to be floated. As soon as the mobility in Ireland will restart, we will have the possibility to float it in Galway Bay, so in the Northern Atlantic. It's still seawater, but with different climate conditions. And we have the final pilot, the retrofitting of an existing structure. This was a water tower in concrete, severely damaged, severely corroded, as you can see, which is going to be retrofitted. You can see some images of the retrofitting, which has started, the columns and the tank. And the work is almost completed also here. Well, we are going to use in these pilots, we have used what we have called ultra-high durability concrete. What is that? You will learn in the MOOC lectures its mechanical properties, how to make it, how to design it, how to test its durability, as Professor Alonso was saying, how to measure it, and which are the most important parameters. We have tried to give a comprehensive definition. Ultra-high durability concrete is a strain hardening fiber reinforced cementitious composite with functionalizing micro and nanoscale constituents. We have used alumina nanofibers, cellulose nanofibers, and nanocrystals. We have used crystalline and mixtures, especially added to obtain a high durability in the cracked state under extremely aggressive exposure conditions. Well, you are all in the construction market, and you know that one of the questions we are asked is the cost of the material. But the important thing that you will also learn in the MOOC is that we have to think beyond the euro per cubic meter cost. We do not make cubes of 1 meter. I put here this very interesting artwork by a Brazilian artist, which I visited a couple of years ago in Milano. We have to think in terms of life cycle, because the performance at time zero, at the time of construction, will have different ways to change over time. This means that we will need different repair interventions in time according to the choice that we made in the design. And this means that we will also have different life cycle cost curve. So this is the way we have to learn to. And I am also quite proud to say that our project was selected to provide results in the framework of the Climate Change Initiative of the European Commission. You can find these results on our website. And some of them were published in a paper just appeared at the proceedings in a conference, Concrete Durability and Service Life Planning. We provided the results of a life cycle analysis, and we also provided the very basic concept that you will also be able to learn in the MOOC of a durability assessment based design as a decision-making tool to decide when it's time to make repair in a structure, when it's time that the service life is ended, and we have to consider different options. These proceedings were published as RILEM proceedings, and as I said in the beginning, RILEM is an international organization who helped us to disseminate and organize also the event of this morning. So I just allow me to stop sharing and go to another presentation. I just want to say you a few words about RILEM, Réunion Internationale des Laboratoires et Experts des Matériaux Systèmes de Construction et Ouvrage. Sorry for my French. Well, actually, this is the acronym of RILEM. You can see there the English translation. RILEM started in 1947. We have just come last weekend from the celebration of Europe Days, May 9, after 75 years of the end of the Second World War. Well, RILEM was founded a few years later in Paris, where eminent scientists, you can see some names that you surely know: Gustavo Colonetti, Robert Lermite, Eduardo Torroja, among many of them you can see the name, and Robert Lermite was the first president. They founded RILEM in the spirit of a cooperation between institutions for testing, research on materials and structures, just to highlight the importance that this sector has on the societal development, but also on the collaboration between people, between nations. And the aim was favor and promote cooperation at international level to generate advanced access to the knowledge, stimulate new direction of research and promote excellence, and promote sustainable and safe construction through improved performance, but also benefits in terms of economy for the society. RILEM members now are spread throughout the world, organized in different geographical clusters. You can see the numbers. Well, largest come from Europe, but it's interesting to see, for example, also how big are the numbers from Africa, besides developing countries like China, India, and also North and South America, Oceania, Japan, and so on. Well, RILEM covers business, consultancy, academic research, industry, and industrial research, but the core of the activities of RILEM are the technical committees. There, the information is exchanged, the knowledge is generation in the form of state-of-the-art reports and recommendation on test methods. So the technical committees are organized into 6 clusters, and now there are 36 technical committees active. 4 of these clusters pertain to concrete. 1 of them you can see pertain to masonry, timber, and cultural heritage, and 6 to bituminous materials and polymers. I would say this is quite important for many of you. You are young researchers, you are students, and RILEM has special policies for young students. Visit their website and see the benefits of student membership that you can have. You can join technical committees where the information goes. Obviously, RILEM disseminates information through website, through reports, through recommendation, to proceedings. I just took the occasion to talk about RILEM, starting from one of the proceedings that they just published a couple of weeks ago from the conference, which was organized at the beginning of January. Well, young people, obviously the benefits which are, you have a privileged link with industry, you have open access publication strategy, which gives enormous visibility to your work. You can work the RILEM website and use the RILEM promotion policy. Well, also RILEM awards every year medals to distinguished young researchers. The Robert Lermite medal is for researchers less than 40 years, and the Gustavo Colonetti medals is awarded to researchers younger than 35 years. These researchers have had to make fundamental and outstanding contributions in the field of construction materials and structures. And I'm also proud to honor the awardees of last year, Augusto Cannone Falchetto, from the Lermite medalist in 2019. We awarded the medal in Nanjing conference. He worked on size effect in alpha mixtures at low temperatures. And the 2 Gustavo Colonetti medalists, they were awarded in the conference, which was last spring in Rovigny, Claire White from Princeton University, chemical mechanism in alkali activated materials, and Baman Gyasi, working on mechanics of durability of textile reinforced composites. What is the advantage of young people, for young people to work with RILEM? I like to quote here this sentence by our good friend and colleague, Robert Torrent, his honorary member. It's like for a young player to have the opportunity to play with Pelé, Maradona, or nowadays with Messi. So everybody of us who know this soccer star know how important would have been for a young soccer player to have the opportunity to play this with these stars. So you are young, but you are immediately in contact with the people whose papers probably you have read to study during your PhD. Well, also RILEM publish every year a report where all the activities are summarized. We had last March in a mixed mode, online and in presence, because the emergency was just starting, the RILEM Spring Week in Guimarães. RILEM organizes every year the convention in spring and in summer, that is the annual week conference. The next one will be in Sheffield in the UK and will be online. You can see the next deadlines, and you can also see that the Spring Convention 2023 will be in Milano, where I will be very happy and pleased to welcome you. Now, going back to our MOOC, we are almost at the end of this welcome address. As you will see from the website, oops, sorry, some technical problems. Okay. We have organized our MOOC, which is available from now. I will say immediately after we will close this welcome address, we will open the site of the MOOC, where you will find 9 lectures recorded. And you have the link here in the presentation. And if you click on it, you will go directly to the MOOC page. We have 9 lectures which cover the whole complex, thorough of durability-based design of advanced cement-based materials. We will have theoretical lectures on the materials, on UHDC materials and on textile reinforced UHDC materials by Professor Pedro Serna from Polytechnic University of Valencia and Professor Alba Peled from Ben Gurion University of the Negev in Israel. We will have a lecture on the durability testing and measuring of these materials by Professor Maria Cruz Alonso from Research Institute of Construction Site Eduardo Torroja in Spain. You will have lectures on durability-based design by myself and on life cycle analysis and life cycle principles by Dr. Maria Chiara Caruso from Stress, partner of the project in Italy. And then we have decided to bring you directly into the application with 4 exciting lectures on the pilots of our project. So you will learn by Dr. Cristina Suesta about the offshore floater for the offshore wind tower. You will learn about geothermal power plant infrastructures by Dr. Jacopo Mazzantini from Enel Green Power. By Dr. Esteban Camacho from RDC in Spain, you will learn about the floating mussel raft, and by Professor Borsch from University of Malta, you will see the interesting overall activity which has been done for the assessment and the retrofitting of the water tower in Malta. So I thank you for this half an hour that you have dedicated to me and to us. I welcome to our MOOC. We will stay online for 15 more minutes, I say, to answer questions. You can type them in the chat and we will try to answer.
Thank you very much and best regards.
If there is any question. Okay, I see that there is a question. Are we supposed to participate in these webinars or just see the videos? Well, the seminars are uploaded with slides and recordings, so you can take them at your own convenience. They are 9. We recommend to follow them in the order where they are given, because there is a logical order, so you go step by step into the MOOC knowledge, but you can follow them. So it's not a webinar with a fixed time and fixed date. It's there free. And the other question, how many weeks the MOOC lasts? The MOOC will start this morning and will be available until the end of the project, so surely until the end of year 2021, and most likely even later. Is there any certificate for the programs? Well, we are thinking of this. You can email us. Yeah, this is a question that several people are asking. You can email us. We will see how can we certificate the fact that you have followed it. Email to us, and also you can email to us with any questions that you want to address directly to the lecturers in order to get clarifications and information. Yes, yes. In case of doubts or discussion section, you can email, as I said. Having an exam at the end of the lectures, we can think of this. If it's, for example, required, you are a PhD student, and it's required by your PhD program to get an exam, to get a credit, we can think of it. These are cases that we are available to address, I would say, case by case. So email to us, you have all the information where to email for a discussion, for questions, for any doubts, for any comment, for any idea also to improve the way in which this MOOC is going to be used by you. We are really open, and we will work with you towards this year and a half, more or less, of availability of the MOOC. My email ID, yeah, I can share. I think it's here on the last slide of the presentation. Oops. You can see it, I think. Anyway, if you go to the website and to the MOOC webpage, you will find email information also there. And in all MOOC lectures, at the end of each lecture, you have the email of the lecturer you can contact for clarifications related to that specific MOOC lecture. Yeah, reading materials. Yeah, Professor Borg, as somebody asked about reading materials. We will make available, if there is any reading materials. In the lectures, there are some references cited. If you want to ask more specific, we will provide you. But anyway, make always reference to the website www.uhdc.eu, where you can also find links to the public deliverables of our project. And this is an interesting, very interesting materials. You will find there links to the open access publications that we are going to produce. So the reference is our website. Any practicals related to the durability study? I don't know if Professor Alonso wants to reply. As a MOOC, I hardly think there will be any practicals, but Maria Cruz, if you want to comment on this question. Actually, in the MOOC, we have not provided a practical session, obviously.
Sorry, but I had problems with the microphone.
Okay.
It was not possible to get connection.
Okay.
Hello, good morning again.
There is somebody asking, would there be any practicals related to the durability studies? I said that as a MOOC,
of course,
we have not a practical session, but you can.
It's difficult to have practical in a webinar that is in internet, so obviously not. However, I think most of the talks that are dealing with experimental data, more or less we are giving like pictures or some information of the test procedures that are being used. For instance, to prepare the concretes, probably there are some videos by the partners that are involved, or in the case of durability, we are addressing the different type of testing methods that we consider are very critical or relevant to analyze the durability and how they has been used to get the information. So there is not a practical description of one procedure in detail, but however, we give practical data applications.
Where can I get the schedule for following the lecture? Well, on the website, I'm trying, just let me try, because I didn't want to go on the web because probably it's too heavy, but just let me try if I can show you how the MOOC website is made. Let us see. If we can go there. The schedule is already organized there. They are all in an order. You can see the website, just one saying yes by voice, because I cannot read the chat now. You see the lectures are already organized according to the concept schedule that we thought was the best. So we start from UHPC material concept, TRC material concept and structural design, UHDC to enhance the durability of structure testing, as Professor Alonso was saying, and identification of parameters, principle of durability based design, principle of life cycle analysis, and then you have the 4 case studies arranged according to the order we have decided to arrange them. So the schedule is already there. And I saw that Professor Borges and Cristina Maestre, who is our communication responsible, I want to thank her explicitly because she did a phenomenal, outstanding job to organize the MOOC and organize this dissemination. She has sent the link where you can find the lectures, the schedule, and you can find also the email information. Can we be part of your research? Okay, that was a private question. Yeah, somebody also asked as personal. Well, actually, the research is going on with the consortium. So in this project, well, we already have a consortium, but I believe that this MOOC could also be an interesting opportunity for networking and for you who are young students to find new directions and new opportunities for collaborations with the partners of the project. Okay. What do you think? I see that in the meantime, other partners of the projects have connected. We have Professor Borges from Malta. I saw Valentina Violante and Enrico Gastaldo from Penetron Italia. I also see Petra Colantonio, welcome. She's from another project, Endure Crete, who we are clustering with Milena Naster from Malta. So welcome all, and really thank you for finding time. And I saw several other friends, so thank you very much. Thank you. We are really happy by the interest that this MOOC has driven in you. Okay, if I do not see any other question, I think we can close. I want to thank you once again for having been with us this morning, and really hope you enjoy the MOOC and encourage you to go through it and email to us for any question, any suggestion, any idea that you will have. Thanks a lot.